blazing and low-pressure heat. I wish everyone could have a hat. Seems to be modern tourists fulfilling their faith and would melt like Picasso in heat. Today we are visiting St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican, one of the world's holiest Catholic shrines. Built upon the tomb of St. Peter, it's the entrance to see where the Pope lives. There is a thick wall on the entrance. Moving into that, it is history. History have a lot to speak. The Doric colonnade has 284 16-meter high columns arranged in 4 rows. Create 3 parallel lanes. At the center lane can be driven down with the 2 pedestrian one flanking them. The square is oval, closed by 2 semicircular colonnades. The square is such large it can accommodate millions of people at a time. Stones are carved all over. A large pink obelisk can be admired in the center of the square. It was from a single block and stands 25 meters on high and base of 8.5 meter wide. The obelisk, which comes from Heliopolis, Egypt, where it was built by a pharaoh and was brought to Rome in 35 BC by the emperor of Caligula. I would say this is a very hot day, but still people are coming more and more. because he was a solid and reliable man. No, he will make many mistakes. He will even come to deny the Master, but he chose to build life on Jesus. The text does not say about flesh and blood, that is, about himself, about his abilities, but about Jesus. Jesus is the rock on which Simon became stone. Whoever enters St. Peter's Basilica is impressed by the size of the building. The marble floor covers an area of 2 hectares and 200 meters. The central nave is 186 meters and 36 centimeters long. The Paris Cathedral is 130 meters long, and the New York Cathedral is only 101 meters long. Bernini's bronze canopy is 30 meters high as a 10-story building, and the stones used to the construction of Basilica are incalculable. But who is Saint Petro? Why is this person so important? He answers the story of Gospels. The evangelist John reports that when Jesus met Simon, the fisherman, for the first time, he immediately said to him, "You will be called Cephas," stone, rock. Then the name became Peter. Simon certainly could not immediately understand the meaning of the name change, but Jesus had a very specific plan. And one day, while he was with the apostles near the sources of the Jordan, in response to Simon's beautiful profession of faith, Jesus said, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it." Jesus' intention is clear. He wants his church to have a point of reference that guarantees the unity of the disciples, despite of disintegrating pressures of human pride. And this point of reference, this rock on which Jesus undertakes to build his church, is Peter. The prophetic words of Jesus were fulfilled in Rome, on the Vatican Hill, during the pre-resurrection of Nero in the years of 64-67 after Christ. Here, on the Vatican Hill, Peter shed blood of his fidelity to Jesus. Here, on the Vatican Hill, Peter died crucified like his master. Here, on the Vatican Hill, not far from Nero's circus, Peter was buried, and on the place of his burial today stands the Papal Altar surrounded by the great Basilica. Here, finally, Peter, together with the blood that bathed the clods of Rome, left the legacy of his mission in the church, and, in fact, the Bishop of Rome is the successor of Peter, and the chair of the Bishop of Rome was immediately called the chair of Peter. The basilica centers around the Papal Altar where only the Pope celebrate Mass. It was consecrated by Clement VIII in 1594 on top of several other older altars. Next to the Confessio, in the center of the basilica stands the High or Papal Altar, commonly known as the Altar of the Confessio. It was carved from a gigantic block of Greek marble which lay in nervous form. St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, situated on Vatican Hill in the UNESCO's World Heritage Site of Vatican City. It dominates the skyline of Rome and attracts millions of visitors from all over the world. It has a capacity of 60,000 people, covers 22,300 square meters, and is one of the world's largest churches. You can climb the 491 stairs of the top of the Michelangelo dome. A church only becomes a basilica when the Pope designates it, usually because of its historical significance or if it houses sacred relics. Globally, there are over 1,400 minor basilicas. However, St. Peter's Basilica is the one of the 4 major basilicas in the world. The 3 other major basilicas are also situated in Rome. There are few chapels inside the basilica and have prayers all the times and Holy Mass. Confession times in Vatican Papal Basilica is possible to approach the Sacrament of Reconciliation at the confessionals located in the right transept. The order of friars, minors, conventual confessions are different languages available. Other celebrations in Vatican Papal Basilica. Holy Mass usually it begins from 7 a.m. and 18 o'clock in the evening ends. Then continuous adoration in the Chapel of Holy Sacrament takes place from Monday to Saturday at the end of the Holy Mass, 18:30. It's been written the names of all the popes and the kings throughout the years. Articles and Souvenir Shops. The wide range of religious articles submitted by St. Peter's Gallery aims at satisfying the needs of faithful eager to receive gifts and religious jewels of excellent workmanship, as well as precious and, at the same time, economically advantageous religious articles are present and to be sold. Staff working in the shop next to the striking and eternal colonnade embracing the Basilica in Vatican City. Spiritual surrounding of the world. The dome of St. Peter's is a masterpiece of creative spirit of man, at the same time the symbol of the Church of Rome. It is designed by Michelangelo Buonarroti, starting from the end of 1546 during the pontificate of Paul III. Compared to Michelangelo's original project, the dome has an oval shape that is more slender upwards. The majestic double dome structure rises on a base divided into three parts, on which the 8 buttresses of the tambur are set, consisting of double columns that frame windows with alternating triangular and semicircular gables.
The journey continues with realization of fulfillment of the desire, adorning himself with the whole world and the abode of the divine.